Mrs. Foster, what's the next step of European Union to enforce its competitiveness in drone industry?
Well, the next step now, following this report, is that the Commission will come forward with a regulatory approach. With the growth in the industry over the last 15 years in particular, in the commercial sector, we're talking about this big sector in the middle, and for private use, for private companies as well. We now need to get some sort of coordination in place. And the title, really, the clue is in the title. It's called the safe use of drones, basically. And therefore, what we need to do is make sure that people are trained to use them, that there is registration system, for example, that there are training schools so people learn how to use them as well. But they're being used in ever-increasing occurrences, whether we're checking railway lines or power plants or crops. They're used at rock concerts, they're used in football stadia. So they're being used all the time, and most of the time we, the public, don't notice.
We don't notice. It's very fascinating technology, but there are some voices raised if it doesn't hinder our privacy.
Well, of course, that's included in my report. And this is why I say member states and the EU, across the EU, we have very, very powerful legislation already in place about people's privacy or data protection. And we need to make sure that law enforcement is used as it should be in the member states. Just 3 weeks ago in the United Kingdom, someone was misusing a drone. They'd been warned by the police and they ended up in court and they were fined very heavily. And this is the sort of thing we will have to set an example if people behave a bit stupidly, and they will then have the full force of the law upon them.
What's the future of drones in Europe? Can Europe become a leader, world leader in drone industry?
Well, we're already leading. I'm from the UK and we are leading as a country as well. And of course we are. We're going to compete. We are huge manufacturers. We have many companies across Europe in the aerospace sector and avionics, and they are part and parcel of the manufacturing of these drones, and they're being sold worldwide. We're also the end users doing all of those things which I mentioned earlier. So yes, this is big competition. This is great opportunity. And we have world-class products already, and we need to build upon that.
What would be your message to the European Commission and the bureaucrats there? What kind of regulations we need to stay at the top?
Well, what I have said is, of course we need regulation, because this all comes under a global umbrella, under the International Civil Aviation Organization. We need to try and get, in my view, a good international approach, a good global approach to how we do this, because these drones cross borders. So there's no point being in isolation. So it's a matter of how you regulate without putting huge burdens on industry and the end users. So in the end, the whole market closes down. So we're looking at the right approach, and I've spoken quite a great deal. I've spoken to the Americans to see how they're doing it, obviously the Commission, the safety agencies, my own Civil Aviation Authority, and we think there are ways forward that we can regulate this sector, but it will be done in a way that will not actually damage it.